Alright, so Danielle just exposed Chief Keef for being a PDF file, and I know that sounds crazy. I don't blame you, but just let me explain how this all happened. So on Ari the Don's cooking podcast, Danielle was a guest, and during the conversation, it was very personal, very vulnerable, and this led Danielle to reveal shocking things, such as the fact that she had been and how Chief Keef had been sleeping with her when she was a child. But if you are a fan of mine, you'd know I dropped a long video on Danielle Bregoli. It's private now because I got hoed so bad by Dr. Phil. However, in this video, I covered most of Danielle's story and how she was by the people around her. One thing that was in my script was the fact Danielle was by Chief Keef. At the time, I had no real way to substantiate my claims until that interview dropped. But the fact that Danielle had initially denied Sosa her, or the fact that he did anything with her when she was underage, was crazy, but it also showcases something darker. Let's first talk about who Danielle is. I won't bore you though, so just relax. In 2016, Dr. Phil was this super popular show, well, at least for YouTube content, because everybody would be making a video about how Dr. Phil is cooking this person and that person. And when Danielle found herself on Dr. Phil, the internet went crazy, especially after her famous catchphrase, this is when Danielle went into the spotlight. After this, she launched her career on social media and she was successful. She was dropping music, going on tours, and just somehow capitalizing on her success as a meme. Yeah, she was labeled this tough talking, ignorant child, but her ability to switch this narrative of bad child to successful teenage female rapper was commendable. Seriously. However, Danielle's story isn't sunshine and rainbows. She had been charged for crimes she committed when she was younger, fought custody battles with her dad, who at the time had cheated on her mom when Danielle was an infant. And despite the growing quality of life money brought her, her own relationship with her mom was rocky. What's more is that her current baby daddy, Levon, was also physically and cheating on Danielle during her pregnancy, or maybe it was after. I'm not really too sure, nor does it really matter. But apparently, while Danielle had expressed while she was going through postpartum due to her pregnancy, Levon was cheating with someone who was her friend, Alabama Barker, another culture vulture white girl.
Like, she didn't cause me so many problems. I was a postpartum mom going through cancer, finding out that my boyfriend was cheating on me. My baby daddy was cheating on me.
To me though, the darkest part of this story is when she came out against Dr. Phil, breaking her silence on what had happened to her at Turnabout Ranch, despite her previously expressing how the experience had a positive impact on her.
Oh, Dr. Phil, I am going to give you from now till April 5th to issue an apology, not only to me, but to Hannah and any other child that you sent to Turnabout or any other program like this. And if you don't, I'm gonna handle things my way.
So as you see, Danielle had been going through all of these things despite the fame. And in my original essay, I even posed the idea that had she not went on Dr. Phil, maybe this wouldn't have been her life. And you know, despite my own criticisms with Danielle, this podcast had further validated my thoughts that she's been taken advantage of, and basically her entire life. With this new information, I want to talk about it a little bit. So let's just start with the fact that her bodyguard had been molesting her for a long time.
Y'all motherfuckers need to be at business.
No, there was kids there getting and yeah, that's
You got
not there.
but in life,
Twice.
oh,
Well, I don't know how many times you want to count it, but I mean,
who's here?
well, I was by my mom's ex-boyfriend from 3 to 6, and then I was by my from 13 to 16.
Hold on.
And then I had 30-year-old boyfriends when I was 16, 17, 18.
Where's
First, I want to say, obviously, this story is very sad because even her mom's boyfriend was another person who had been victimizing her. That's just horrible. And it just adds to why Danielle was always having issues with her mom. The people who are supposed to care about her, someone who's supposed to be like her best friend, was the person who allowed her to get hurt. But I don't want to go on too much of a tangent. Let's just talk about the bodyguard. Frank Delato was Danielle's bodyguard, who was also apparently a bodyguard for Nicki Minaj, Kodak, and Chris Brown. All pretty deplorable celebrities in their own ways. So that's a red flag in and of itself, but this revelation is insane. From 13 to 16, this man was obviously close to Danielle. He'd be with her constantly as her protector, especially outside. So for him to violate that and hurt her is just so gut-wrenching. But I can't say I'm surprised because, as I said, the entirety of her life, people have viewed this girl as something to use. She had been marked by, and as Danielle said, nobody goes to jail when it comes to her. So it's just really unfortunate.
So did he go to jail?
No,
Why not?
I don't know.
You didn't press the issue?
Nobody ever goes to jail when it comes to me.
This was not the only shocking revelation though. Danielle had also confirmed that Sosa, or Chief Keef, had been sleeping with her when she was 16, when she was a child. And my question is, why are all these rappers so into little kids? 16-year-olds to be exact. And I'm looking at you, Boston Richie, you're hella weird too.
So, you used to date Sosa, what was that like? I'm asking because he's from Chicago.
I wouldn't call it, we wasn't like me and LeVon. Like, I just used to go over there and hang out, get fucked. Hang out. I'm a real ass bitch. Like, that's what it is. I remember one time he was like, I can't have any bitch over here, but I still call you over here. And I was like, oh, you been having every bitch over here? Like, I said, I was like 6. No,
yeah.
I took it personal because I was young. So I was like, oh, you been having bitches over here?
So you just be swapping them out?
Yeah. But I ain't swapped my baby daddy out. It's been 2 years.
That's not a long time. Talking about swapping them out. This is around the time you start swapping, about the 2-year mark.
No, I swap after like a month. I'd be tired.
How long did y'all fuck around for?
4 years.
That's a long ass time. That was your man. You ex.
I got with somebody else and then left them for him.
For a little situationship.
What makes this video crazy is that, number one, she exposed him twice, not only by slipping up and saying 16, but she also said the years, which made it easier to confirm. Also, sadly, I took this clip from academics, but it did good with all the stuff on screen, so we allow it. The thing with this Sosa information is that people knew, people suspected it, including me, but Danielle did protect him, which is odd, but it makes sense. She was a child when they was interacting, and how these older guys do is that they manipulate you, and that affects the victim's ability to speak out. Sometimes they end up protecting them. Also, I'm pretty disappointed in Ari. She never actually pressed that information. Later in the interview, when the topic of race and Danielle having a black child came up, she was more willing to press on what she had to say. But when it's the fact a famous rapper was being a literal predator, she's passive? I just don't understand that. It's odd to me when the interview has the phrase holding nothing back in it. This sort of complacency is why these things have happened to Danielle. If she was a child when Sosa had been coming on to her, let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. Let's make sure the world knows, because that's nasty. It just keeps this cycle of going. Obviously, one can hope they had this conversation off camera, but the thing is, Danielle had criticized Soulja Boy for claiming she was trying to come on to him when she had met him, but Danielle made it clear that during this whole interaction between her and Soulja Boy, she was a minor.
Just for real. How you talking about somebody pussy who was around you when they was 16?
Oh, you was around when you was 16? That don't sound too right to me. That sound a little young. How old is Soulja Boy? How old are you? About 30 something. And you were 16, if I do the math right, that's jail time, I don't know.
However, Ari's response to this was vastly different from the response to Sosa. You see what I mean? Ari was just real talkative when it came to Soulja Boy, but not Sosa. He was on the same weird timing. You got a child Danielle around these grown men, but only one is verbally called out. But look, there's more to this interview. Please go watch it. Danielle also touched on the physical violence that went on between her and Sosa, amongst other things. I just want to get my 2 cents out. But basically, don't trust rappers or streamers or really any famous person, because chances are they're demons, and I mean demons in the literal sense, who have sold out and no longer have morals. But I'm gonna get up out of here. Y'all be easy.
She said, do you love me? Told her that I love greed. Niggas try to diss me. Now you feeling so good. You be getting so deep. You don't even know me. She said, do you love me? Told her that I love greed. Niggas try to diss me.